The Hurricane. Chapter 1. The Trip. Marie Diaz was looking out the train window. The sky was gray. The sun was covered by clouds. Marie and her parents were traveling to Orlando, Florida. They were going to visit her Aunt Paula. Marie's cousin Hector was going too. Hector slept in the seat next to Marie. Her mother and father sat across the aisle. "Are you excited to go to Florida?" Marie's father asked. "Yes," Marie said. "Hector and I want to go to a theme park." "How's Rosie?" Marie asked. She was talking about her new pet dog. Her mom was holding the tiny black dog in a baby carrier. "Rosie is fine," Mr. Diaz told Marie. "She is sleeping." Marie's parents had wanted to leave Rosie home, but Marie did not want to leave her new puppy behind. Marie's parents finally agreed to take Rosie on the trip. Marie spent the last hours of the trip reading. Her new book was very interesting. The time passed quickly. Soon Marie felt the train slow down. Marie touched Hector's arm. "Wake up, we're here," she said. "We're in Orlando," Hector said. He rubbed his eyes. Hector and Marie looked out the window. They saw that it was raining. Marie was disappointed. Everyone got off the train and went into the station. Mr. Diaz went to rent a car. It was very windy. The rain was coming down harder now. Rosie began to bark. "I should walk Rosie," Mrs. Diaz said. She pulled an umbrella out of her blue bag and went outside. When Mrs. Diaz opened the umbrella, a strong wind blew it out of her hand. Marie and Hector watched the umbrella blow away. The weather was getting worse. "I will walk Rosie for you," Hector said politely. "I'll come with you," Marie said. Marie and Hector walked out into the wind and rain. Rosie barked happily. Chapter 2. A Hurricane. Mr. Diaz drove their car into Aunt Paula's driveway. Aunt Paula ran outside to greet them. "I'm glad to see you, big brother," she said to Mr. Diaz. "You can help me put the boards on the windows." She smiled at Marie, Hector, and Mrs. Diaz. "I'm sorry to give you bad news, but Hurricane Rob is coming. It has the potential to do a lot of damage." "Don't worry," Mrs. Diaz told her. "We will help you." "Thanks," said Aunt Paula. Mr. Diaz nailed the boards over the windows. The others carried bottles of water, packages of food, and flashlights from the garage into the house. The wind blew the hat right off of Hector's head. "That's a strong wind," he said. The wind howled. The rain came down very hard. "All the theme parks are closed until Hurricane Rob passes," Aunt Paula said. Marie felt like crying. She and Hector really wanted to go to theme parks. "I'm sorry," Aunt Paula said. Hurricane season is an annual event. Some years, very bad hurricanes pass through. Other years, it's not as bad. "I think this is exciting," said Hector. Aunt Paula smiled. "You are an innocent child," she said. "Hurricanes cause a lot of damage. It is expensive to fix everything. Sometimes it's too dangerous to stay in our home. Then we go to a shelter." Something banged against a board that covered a window. Marie heard a loud cracking sound. "The tree behind the house must have fallen," Aunt Paula said. "I will look outside," Mr. Diaz said. Marie's father opened the door. He looked outside to see if the tree had hit the house. Marie and Hector watched. They were amazed by how strong the wind was. A tree branch blew past the open door. Rosie ran outside to chase it. Marie's father ran out after the dog. Marie and Hector were scared. Aunt Paula came into the room and asked, "Where's your dad?" "He went to find Rosie," Marie said. "She's out there. Will she be all right?" Chapter 3, Saving Rosie. Marie's father returned. He was soaked. His hair had been blown by the wind. "I can't find Rosie," he said. "I called to her, but the wind is loud. She might not have heard me." Marie was upset. She started to cry. Rosie was out there in the hurricane. Marie's father put his hand on her shoulder. "I'm sorry," he said. "It's not safe for me to be out there looking for her." Marie nodded. She did not want her father to be in danger, but she was still worried about Rosie. That night, the whole family slept in Aunt Paula's living room. Everyone felt safer being together. In the morning, Marie didn't hear rain or wind anymore. Aunt Paula came out of the kitchen. "We have cereal bars for breakfast," she said. She opened the wrapping of 2 cereal bars and gave them to Marie and Hector. Marie was glad the storm was over, but she felt awful for Rosie. "Let's look for Rosie," she said to Hector. "I'll come too," Aunt Paula said. She gave the 2 of them pairs of boots to wear. "I don't care about the theme parks anymore," Marie said. "If we find Rosie, I will be happy." They heard a sound. "I hear Rosie, but I don't see her," Hector said. Aunt Paula walked through the water. She pushed aside the fallen branches. "Look," she said happily. Rosie was under the porch. Aunt Paula picked up Rosie. She gave the puppy to Marie. "I knew she'd be all right," Hector said. Marie smiled. The sun began to shine. Maybe this hurricane holiday was going to work out just fine. The hurricane.